Science has chosen you for a little experiment. I have given you a robot arm.
I think he's getting addicted to reviewing stuff. By mad scientists, give him a robot arm, he's on the run apparently. This is just his coping mechanism. If this continues on, your ratings will go down. I wasn't aware you could have negative viewers. Yeah, it'll.
I woke up and found it doing this. I don't understand. What's it doing?
Oh, well, that's actually quite simple. You've got like this plastic filament which is fed through this tube, and as it moves around, this nozzle here extrudes it onto a platform, and then layer for layer it makes an object.
I know that. I bought the damn thing. What's it printing?
A thing?
You know, you actually sounded pretty smart 3 sentences ago.
I know, right? But, well, I mean, the thing is that you can feed any sort of simple 3D object in here. Well, a model of it, of course. And then it will just print it out. So it could be anything from the internet.
Hey, you know what that sounds like?
What?
Start of a review.
No, it doesn't.
Hello and welcome to the 9th episode of the Random Review Show.
Today, 3D printers.
.3D printers, like our Ultimaker, can make many useful things.
Like our microphone stand.
Our script keeper.
Our obligatory internet reviewer robot.
Our obligatory internet reviewer robot sombrero.
And it's not just minor and ornamental things that you can print out, the material is strong enough to do actually something useful, like a spanner.
Bottle opener.
Or restraints that keep Tom's hair in place.
And while none of these 3D printed tools will outperform a traditional alternative,
It may just save you from buying something expensive just to remove a single bolt.
you can even print out another 3D printer, or at least a significant amount of it. The RipRap Foundation's goal is exactly this, to design a 3D printer mostly made from 3D printed parts. So in a crude way, their machine can self-replicate. Although, fortunately not without human assembly in between.
In fact, thanks to RepRap, there's an explosion of 3D printer designs out there. You've got all these talented amateur groups and tinkerers, making their own designs, refining it and taking it into a new direction.
Despite having such a large community behind it, 3D printed tinkerers are only really great with coming up with printers themselves, and less good at coming up with original ideas of what to print. Balls, another balls. Balls. Stephen Colbert's head. Balls. Either they have no ideas, or maybe they simply lack the 3D modelling skills to realise those ideas.
When you go down a list of things you can download and print out, about 90% is just a replica of something that already exists. It's what we call the horseless carriage syndrome, and every single medium has that problem when it starts out. TVs, for example, were used to, well, play plays, and the internet was just a text dump. 3D printing itself is really a new medium, and we should treat it as such. Most 3D printers print in two materials. The first one being ABS, which is what Lego is made of, and the other one is PLA. You will find that most 3D printers actually use PLA because it's by far the most user-friendly type. It doesn't require much setup, it melts at 170 degrees, and under the right circumstances it's also much better for the environment. It's just made of starch, and eventually it's just going to be biodegradable. There are also some experiments with printing in nylon, which is great for coloring, in sandstone, and even in wood.
Wait, wood? Are you sure?
Yeah, here at our local Fab Lab they've got some examples.
Huh? How did you get over there?
I don't know, how are you still talking to me?
Let's just get on with the review. So, what is that Fab Lab place anyway?
Fab Lab, of course, stands for Fabulous Lab.
No, it's Fabrication Laboratory!
At a Fab Lab, anyone can come and create things using the machines and the tools they provide. You typically pay for the material costs and a fee for the time spent on the machines. At this particular Fab Lab, you can even sell the work you produce in the window. Now, let's take a look at what people have printed in this Fab Lab. Here, an example of something printed in wood, an elegant bracelet. If wood wasn't impressive enough, these small cups are printed in sandstone. This diesel dragon is very accurately modelled. This tasteful 3D printed lamp would look great in any room. A 3D printed bust of your head, a perfect gift for your Valentine. A giant robot complete with landmarks for it to destroy. And what room wouldn't be complete without a skull? There's also this vase, and this vase, and this vase, and then this vase. Of course, just because you can print everything out doesn't mean you should. Some things could be dangerous or stupid or both.
Did you say dangerous? We should stop it if it could be printing anything risky.
How? Our printer uses plastic. What could it possibly be making that could be dangerous?
You didn't hear about the 3D printed gun? A few groups in the US have working versions now.
Yeah, barely working. The gun maker in this example used a string to pull the triggers, because otherwise he would have blown his fingers right off.
Well, true. But printers getting better all the time, and you shouldn't underestimate human ingenuity to get past material constraints. We can often be very creative coming up with solutions.
You mean mankind is oddly creative when creating new weapons?
Sadly, yes. Dangerous weapons are probably going to be a Control P away at some point in the future.
Okay, fair point, but this is the here and now. Besides, everyone else is irresponsible with weapons, not us. Say, whatever happened to laser? What on earth are you two doing?
Huh? The review show. We'll edit on images later to back up our points.
Right. But who's filming? this. Oh, forget it.
So 3D printing offers much challenges over the next decade. After all, no one wants children, drunks or the insane to have easy access to weapons.
But no one wants censorship either, as that often leads to other things being censored as well.
Look at the UK's recent internet censorship scheme. It started as a way just to censor pornography, but in the small print, it's actually going to censor other things as well, such as violent websites, eating disorder websites, and esoteric content, whatever that means. The silly thing is, these forms of internet censorship are expensive and rarely even work at all.
Look at copyright infringement. Already on the Pirate Bay you can find models of the popular wargame Warhammer 40k. We can see that in the future perhaps you could download bespoke parts of cars from really dodgy websites. And like MP3, we can't really see a way to stop this development. We just hope that IP owners will offer us legal ways to obtain these things so we can download and print things out legally.
So it's easy to dwell on these negatives. But instead, let's focus on the positives, which in my opinion way outnumbers them.
3D printers look like they're gonna follow the same tech path as 2D printers.
I used to have a Commodore Plus 4 printer. It took a crazy long time to print graphics. Half hour a page sometimes. It was slow, noisy, much like 3D printers are today.
So 2D printers got faster, better quality, quieter, a much better experience overall. And now we've got 3D printers.
So, 3D printers are going to get faster, better quality, quieter, and overall better experience, and eventually we'll get 4D printers.
Maybe not. So the past isn't always a good indicator of future developments, but the way how things are going in, well, the development of 3D printing, it's gonna be amazing what's gonna come next. And the amazing thing is that it's mostly being pushed by small companies.
We should also mention 3D printers are getting more accessible too. We had to assemble ours by stop motion montage. But these days most come pre-assembled.
Printing with two hands looks quite interesting, and some people come up with vastly alternative designs. Then we can also see a big difference in the way how things are going to be distributed. With software, digital distribution has brought such an advantage to, well, the whole landscape. And wouldn't it be cool if inventors were no longer attached to production lines, but that we could just download and print out our own inventions? Like how digital distribution changed the virtual world, we can see how it can also change the physical world.
Modelling for 3D printing has also become a lot more accessible. It used to be you had to use dedicated 3D modelling and animation software, which could cost €3,000 or more. Fortunately, there's simpler 3D softwares now, dedicated mostly for 3D printing. They're a lot cheaper because they only contain the needed features. That's if they cost anything at all, some are free.
People are also looking into low-cost and safe solutions for printing with aluminium and with solder. And there's even 3D printers that print in resin, and they just set the shape into it.
Which brings us to our last point, changes in POA. As mentioned earlier, POA can be environmentally friendly, but it sometimes isn't. It really depends where you are. Some countries have POA recycling facilities to break it down, while others, well, don't. Fortunately though, some companies are moving into POA recycling, which will break down the POA ready to be reused again into new reels, which should offset some waste concerns.
3D printing is an awesome piece of technology and is bound to change the world. There's some growing pains like the fiddliness, the costs and the ethical concerns, but as previous technology has shown us, eventually there's going to be a net positive, despite all the bad.
So let me fix my hair a sec. So Overall, 3D printing will let us live in a more bespoke, less mass-produced world, so we can all be creators and inventors to the products in our everyday lives.
Hey, I think it's done.
Hey, cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. What?
What is it?
No idea. Must be a printing error.
Yeah, guess so.
Anyway, let's go. I'll run some diagnostics in the morning.
Yeah, I guess you're right.